Looking good. Mic's on. We're back, baby. We are back. Let's go. Unfiltered podcast. Welcome back to the Unfiltered podcast, where nothing is filtered. So pull up your big boy pants or get out. Third episode. I haven't talked to y'all since the day after New Year's. It was January 2nd. I haven't had time. I've been back in school. We have to catch up on January 2026. College football playoffs happen. NFL playoff. The Super Bowl is in 2 weeks. I'm going to talk about the Super Bowl. I'm just going to talk about the life. It's snowing outside down here in the South. Ever heard of that? No, because of global warming. I'm going to talk about my skiing trip. We're going to talk about some great feats. Kai Cenat, TikTok's going crazy. Everything. Let's get right into it. So the week after this, so the Saturday of January, the first Saturday of January, I headed out to Salt Lake City. I do an annual skiing trip in Utah, Park City, Utah. That night, the Steelers played the Ravens. Winner goes to the playoff. The Steelers were up. They won 26-24. Tyler Loop missed a 40-some yarder, and the Steelers won. I'm going to talk about that next episode, so probably next week or the week after, because I have some conspiracies. Actually, no. The next episode might be next week, but I'm going to get into depth about the Steelers-Ravens game when I talk after the Super Bowl, the week after the Super Bowl, because I have some conspiracy theories about the NFL being scripted, and I'm going to talk about that, and maybe something crazy happens in the Super Bowl. I think something crazy can happen in the Super Bowl, and the fact that proving my speculations that the NFL is scripted. But I'm going to talk about the Super Bowl. That is the last thing we're going to talk about. Park City, Utah. There's nothing much to say about me and my family who stayed at Wyndham. There's actually like a little spot in the Wyndham where you can rent skis. They put it right outside of your hotel. You ride the gondola up, and you're at the base of the mountain. So it's pretty nice. And then once you get down, you can ski all the way back down to the hotel, plop your skis off, store them. The rentals will store them. It's great. And if you only go skiing like me and my family do, my dad, my sister, and me, and then my mom's cousin who's like 35, so definitely younger, so he can definitely hit the slopes. We rented skis there. It's the perfect thing, because if you only go skiing 3 times a year, why buy skis? You have to haul them in an airplane across the country. Why go? Just rent skis when the hotel gives you a discount. The ski rental is right in the hotel. You can take the gondola up, and then you just take another ski lift up, and you're up in the mountains, and then you can ski all the way back down to the hotel. Everything's stored right there. It's the perfect thing. But the last 2 years that we've gone skiing, it's been warm. And this year, there wasn't enough snow, so about half of the ski slopes were closed because there wasn't enough snow. The year before that, I was skiing in a sweatshirt because it was so hot. It was like 60 degrees. Everything was melted. But 3 years ago, we went to Park City. It was the historic winter where it was like 10 feet of snow. So we kind of got spoiled that year, and then the last 2 years kind of made up for it. It was a little downgrade. Hopefully next year is going to be a good year for Park City, because if not, we might have to think about going somewhere else, because, global warming. Hey, some people don't like saying that the earth is warming up because of all this ecosystem and stuff. Maybe global warming is getting a little iffy, but there's been snow in the south, so it's kind of getting weird. Not a lot of snow up in the north and out in the west in like Colorado and Utah, but we're getting some big snow. I'm going to talk about that. Snow in the south. Let's go. This was an ice storm, so it wasn't really snow. It was snow Saturday night, then Sunday, it was actually good. Me and my friends, we went out on side-by-sides. I'm going to talk about that. But the roads, there was snow there, and it was a little icy, but it was good enough where you can like do donuts and stuff, but you had enough control of the side-by-sides that you weren't ever like scared that you're going to flip or end up in a ditch. But that night it got really cold. That's when it got icy. Sunday night it got icy. Monday we didn't have school, and then Tuesday we didn't have school. I go to a charter school. So it's a private school, but it's free equity, so you don't have to pay to go for it. So you don't have to listen to the county. If the county says, hey, we're going to cancel, our school doesn't have to cancel. And the thing about our school, you would think, oh, that's great, you can cancel whenever. No, our school is fucking weird. We love learning. We fucking love learning. Yay. So we barely ever cancel when other schools cancel. I live in a county where, it's like it takes up, it takes from the middle of the state all the way up to the tip of the state. So if the tip of the state gets snowed, then us, where it could be 70 degrees, they cancel. But if it's windy, hard rain, even if the meteorologists speculate that there's going to be snow, they cancel. But guess what? My school doesn't. We don't cancel. They already got let out 2 days while we only got a delay. So they already have to do summer school maybe. I don't know. Probably not. But here's the thing about my school is we go more days than we have to. The state mandates the amount of days that you have to go. And we go an extra 2 weeks more for some stupid ass reason because my school's stupid. But anyways, there was supposed to be freezing rain, and there actually was freezing rain. So we thought that we might be out till Wednesday because of power. No, I think we're going back tomorrow, which is Wednesday. I think we're going back. I would probably jump off my fucking roof of my house if we didn't have school tomorrow because it's starting to melt. I was surprised that we didn't have school today because it was actually 30 degrees yesterday. It was above freezing, so the snow was really starting to melt. But the rest of the week, it's supposed to be in the teens, so that's when it's going to freeze. I don't know. All I'm going to say is that side-by-sides are fucking awesome. We went out on the roads. We went through trails. Some people were jumping. We were hitting some pretty steep cliffs. And if you hit it at the right angle, you could get air. There were some fucking side-by-sides that was 75K. That's the thing down here in the South. Side-by-sides and four-wheelers, those are the Lamborghinis to the people up north and out in LA. They care and will spend more money on their side-by-sides and four-wheelers than their cars. All they need is a truck, a lifted truck, and they're fine. And then they'll spend the rest of their money on hunting, farmland, and then side-by-sides and four-wheelers. I think the most expensive side-by-side was 75K. It was great. We went in the middle of town because nobody's out. They didn't care. We passed multiple cops. They didn't care because technically it's a state of emergency. So any vehicle could be out there. Yeah, it was great. We went to go get lunch downtown. I mean, we went to a place that was 30 minutes away. And we were cruising 45, 50 miles per hour down the highway. Nobody cared. That's why it's great living out in the middle of nowhere. You meet a bunch of good old boys, a bunch of rednecks, but you get to know and you do a lot of cool things. There's 7, 8 side-by-sides. There's about 20 people of us riding. It was great. I was riding with my friend. And thing is, his side-by-side's 15K, and his side-by-side was small compared to everybody else. It was crazy. Let's get on. It was my birthday. My birthday was January 13th, so 11 days after I posted the second episode. Got some clothes, got some cologne. Like I said in the Christmas episode, I like getting clothes now. Got some new cologne. Shout out my sister. She got me some cologne. My favorite Christmas gift, birthday gift. Why did I say Christmas gift on my notes? My favorite birthday gift was the Pittsburgh Steelers. So Monday night, we played Monday Night Football. Lost to the Texans 30-6. The Texans defense had more points than our offense in the whole entire. Texans defense had 14 points in the fourth quarter. Our offense only had 6. But Mike Tomlin stepping down. I figured this out in PE. I was having a party in the locker room while changing out of my PE uniform to my school uniform. Because, yes, we wear school uniforms. Because we're fucking nerds at our school. I was going crazy. I was going bonkers. And my friend was like, bro, Mike Tomlin's always great. Here's the thing about Pittsburgh and us Yinzers. We are tied for the most Super Bowl with the Patriots. If the Patriots do win, they'll have the most Super Bowls in franchise out of any franchise. We don't want mediocrity. We want hard-nosed, good coaches wanting to win Super Bowls. We don't care about going to the fucking playoffs every year. We can take a few down years if that means we're going to win a Super Bowl. We always expect, and yes, we always expect to go to the playoffs, but here's the thing about Mike Tomlin. When he won the Super Bowl, it wasn't under his players, it was under Bill Cowher's players. So after the Polamalu, James Harrison retired, we had the Killer Bees, Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, and Ben Roethlisberger. but we lost in the first round every year. We lost to fucking Tim Tebow. And this was our best chance in a while. It was our first home game since 2020, but that was during COVID. So this was our first time in like 8 years that we hosted a playoff game, and it was in front of people, and we got shit on. We just got shit on. People were booing at the end of this season, or at the end of the game. This was our best chance, and if we didn't win a playoff game this year, it's never going to happen under Tomlin. It was a mutual agreement. Tomlin steps down. That means if a team wants to go for Tomlin, they have to trade for him. If you fire him, that means he's on the free agent market, and you can get him whenever. He's not going to go to another team. He's probably going to go be in the broadcast booth or be on like Fox pregame halftime show, and then he'll continue coaching in 2027. Now, I don't know if you have to trade for him then. I think he might be a free agent. I think if you wanted him to be your coach this year, you would have to trade for them. But after that, he's a free agent in the head coaching market. But then the Steelers spoiled my happiness, and we got fucking the offensive Mike Tomlin. We got a different Mike McCarthy. He hasn't coached in 2 years. He didn't coach last year, and then I think he did what Mike Tomlin's going to do. He waited a year, and now he's making his return to Pittsburgh because he's a Pittsburgh guy. Yay! Well, guess what? Nobody likes him. Opening game, I hope we boo the fuck out of this fat ass, bro. He can't even see over his belly rolls to see the play calling sheet. He is ass. He is the mediocrity. He is the offensive Mike Tomlin. And that's who we go for? Maybe the first few years will be great. And then we re-sign him after, I think it's a 3-year deal that we signed him. He does great those first 3 years. Maybe we win a playoff game. And then we sign him to a big 5-year deal. Then he does shit. Then he does what Mike Tomlin does. Goes 9-8, 10-7. We get a middle of the pack draft pick. And it's the same shit over and over. Us Pittsburgh fans want something new. We want to step out of a box. I wanted Brian Flores. I wanted either offensive coordinator or Brian Flores as a defensive coordinator to be our new head coach. But no. Our fucking GM, our owner, Art Rudy, Omar Khan, our GM, we don't want to step out of the comfort zone. We want to do the same thing over and over. And us Yinzers, us Pittsburgh fans, are tired of it. That's why, let's go Penguins. Pittsburgh Penguins are in a playoff spot right now. I know there's still 3 months left of the season, but hey, I'm a hockey fan. Maybe there's some hope for the Pittsburgh Pirates these next few years as a baseball fan. I don't know, but I do know I will not be watching the Steelers next year because that means we're going to get Aaron Rodgers probably back to reunite with Mike McCarthy, and I'm going to jump off the fucking roof. I was outside doing yard work in the 20-degree weather right before the snow hit. I found out Mike McCarthy was our new head coach. I said, Jesus, if I freeze to death, that's okay. That means I doesn't have to watch this putrid-ass team play these next few years under this fat ass. Anyways, moving on, TikTok. TikTok's broken. It's been glitching and shit since, 2 weeks ago that the U.S. finally took over and started to own TikTok. Since then, there's, it was a so-called suspected outage because the owners moved from China and now the U.S. own it. But that means, it was a suspected outage because they were moving data or refreshing the algorithm. But people are saying that their feeds aren't resetting. When people post, they're not getting any views. And some people can't even get into their accounts. Just a speculation here, but I'm speculating maybe China. Maybe China's got something to do. Maybe they don't have, maybe the U.S. doesn't have all the power that they thought, and that China is still having something to do with the technology and is still hacking into TikTok. I don't know. As I get a sip of my bubbly. Not sponsored, but I'm getting old, bro. I used to hate these things because it's just carbonated water. I've drank 3 of these in the past 3 days, bro. These things are actually gas now. I don't know, bro. I'm getting starting to sparkling water. Anyways, let's get on to Kai Cenat. Kai Cenat hasn't streamed in about 4 months. And we don't know when he's coming back. He posted a video saying, I quit. Now, nowhere in that video did he say he quits streaming, but he quit overthinking and thinking about something that could go wrong. He's taking a step back, focusing on his mental health, and he's over in Paris, France, Italy, or Germany. One of those three countries, I can't remember. And just learning how to make his own clothing for his clothing line. I forgot what it's called. L Podcaster by me. Didn't do my research. But I was just adding on the finishing touches, and I just added Kai Cenat 5 minutes before I made this video. So I didn't really do that much research. I just wanted to get this podcast on with. But just like the TikTok, I had some speculations. I have some speculations here. Kai Cenat's girlfriend, they broke up. Don't know the reason why, but many are speculating because she cheated on him with other men. Some as popular as NBA Youngboy. There's DMs. There's videos of her on FaceTime getting excuses from guys to tell Kai so she can go see him. Hey, cheater. I knew she was a cheater and stuff. And then she made a video clearing up the air. And she was just flexing her money and shit. Then she's trying to defuse the situation by going after Kai Cenat's friends, trying to say that they sparked the interest to talk to her. What the fuck? You're a gold digger, bro. You're a gold digger. And you want to know why she's a gold digger? Because she got $1 million penthouse, forced Kai Cenat to put her name on the penthouse. So once they broke up, that she could own the house, and saying that if she didn't put her name in the penthouse ownership, then she would break up. So it was peer pressure. Then she got, I think she wanted a G-Wagon for Christmas. I don't know if she got it, but she did get multiple other expensive stuff, like designer clothes and shoes and stuff like that. Maybe that breakup caused Kai Cenat to want to not stream anymore, just have no communication, just focus on himself. But he might be on his revenge arc, and I hope when Kai Cenat comes back with his new haircut and everything, it's going to be tough. It's going to be lit. Now, let's get on to sports. Alex Honnold. Ever heard of this guy? Me neither. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing his last name right. But he climbed the 1,667 Taipei 101 with no rope. I think you guys seen this already. This happened Saturday. He climbed one of the tallest buildings in China and maybe even in the world with no rope. All he had was chalk and his hands. He climbed that building with the wind howling, and this was the day after it rained. He was supposed to do it Friday night, but because it rained, he had to do it Saturday. There was still dew on those windows and stuff. One little wrong move, one sneeze, one slip, one cramp. He's dead. He's going to fall off. But he did it. He did this in 1 hour and 30 minutes. And at the tippy top, he put his 2 feet up like that and was hanging off upside down, curled his feet around a metal bar, and was hanging on with no hands at like 1,300 feet high. His life is on the line. Netflix, there's millions of people watching in real life, and then Netflix also broadcasted this. His life is on the line, and then he gets to the top, then he's got to come back down. What the fuck? Bro, you all know, most of you guys, I hate heights. I hate heights. I was nervous myself. My palms were sweaty. My knees were shaking for this guy. This was a replay. This was after we already knew that he survived. I was still thinking that maybe I was getting told something wrong and he actually fell off and died when he's dangling by his feet. What the fuck? I wouldn't do that for $1 million, $1 billion. If my life's on the line, I'm not doing that. Just take my life, Lord. Oh my God. Also, shout out to Netflix for doing this because they're broadcasting this live, and if he falls off, Netflix is going to just show this to millions of people that he's just falling to his death. That's kind of gutsy by Netflix, but hey, they got millions of people to watch. I wonder how many new subscriptions they got because of this. I didn't really see this advertised that much. I saw advertised a lot on Sunday after he completed this. I think this was a test run by Netflix. I think they might do it even bigger and advertise it more next time if he does something bigger, a taller building. I think I would watch it. That would be crazy, bro. I want to see how many viewers they got, how many new subscriptions they got, because you know that a lot of people, towards the end, when he's getting up there high, they heard about this on social media, on X, when people are posting it, and they're going to tune in. Okay, let's get into the national championship. The Hoosiers win the Big Ten, their 3rd straight national championship. That's right, suck it, SEC, y'all are ass. As a Penn State fan, you know, we're in the Big Ten, we're in the best conference in the land in college football, and we just proved it again, 3rd straight national championship.
This is the third straight year that an SEC team hasn't even been in the college football national championship. So, yeah, SEC falling off. Paul Feinbaum, suck it. Even he admitted that the SEC is not as good as the Big Ten. Let's just take a deep and look at the Indiana Hoosiers. When Kirk Cinetti took them over, they were the losingest program in college football. They're now the second losingest because they've only had 2 losses in the past 2 years. So Northwestern passed them. So he takes over this nobody school, leaves James Madison, takes a bunch of 3-star, 2-stars, no stars, 1-stars, bunch of transfers from G5 schools where they didn't even start, goes to Indiana, first year, makes them in the college football playoff. Their only 2 losses were to Ohio State and Notre Dame, the national championship, and then the team who played in the national championship. Then the year after that, they said, fuck it. We're going to Oregon. We're going to beat them on the road by 10. We're going to beat Ohio State in the Big Ten championship. Then we're not even going to beat Oregon in the national semifinals by 10. We're going to beat them by 30. We're going to make this game over after the first play when it was a scoop and score by Indiana or a pick 6. The game was over after the first play when Dante Moore turned the ball over. And also, the game before that, the quote-unquote best college football program, which they are since 2010, since Nick Saban took them over. But now they're not even that good. They smoked them 38-3. Alabama was rolling out of there at halftime. They gave up at halftime. Ty Simpson was injured, but I think he just wanted to get off the field because he was getting embarrassed. The Hoosiers, let's just look at the hardcore state. Kirk Cinetti told all these IU boys, 3-star, 2-star, 1-star, no stars. Well, I think they had 4 stars on the team, 0 5-stars. He told them, you're here, you're going to prove all the haters, all the doubters, why they were wrong. Just shove it up their ass. They want to shit on you, cut off your throat, cut off your head, burn you alive, and then piss on you. That's what they want to do, and that's what they did every single game. Their closest game was against the Penn State University. Give it up for the boys. Small victory in this shitty season that we had. But victory is a victory. That is such a petty thing to do as a Penn State fan. But hey, whatever. Miami, the U is back. Mario Cristobal. They're losing Ruben Bain, which is the best defensive player in the college football playoff. But they have the best player, a top 5 player in the nation, in Malachi Toney. He's just a freshman. He was supposed to be a senior in high school this year. You can tell he barely has any facial hair. He has a little puberty mustache. It looks like he's just hitting puberty, that he should be a junior in high school. He's going out there, one-handed catches, mossing people. So they're losing Ruben Bain, but Malachi Toney's going to be back. They're losing Mark Fletcher, who's their great power back, and they're losing their starting quarterback, Carson Beck. But Carson Beck, all 3 of their losses ended in a Carson Beck turnover. So they're upgrading. They're going to get Darian Mensah. It just got announced that Duke and Mensah are settling agreement so Mensah can get into the transfer portal. He's likely going to Miami. So they're going to upgrade. They're going to get a little bit better. They're going to get a miniature Cam Ward. He can run. He's got a great arm. Led the nation in passing yards, I believe. I know he led the ACC in passing yards, but they're going to get Darian Mensah. They're going to upgrade at quarterback. Mario Cristobal, a former offensive lineman, he knows how to build in the trenches. Mark Fletcher's a great power back. I think if they do get another Mark Fletcher, a power back, Miami will win the national championship in the next few years with Malachi Toney. So stay tuned for the U. I don't want the U to be back. The U need to go upside down, but hey, it's all about a U. It's all about a U. I'm just saying, hey, Carson Beck, get off that Snapchat, buddy. Start learning how to throw the ball. Start learning how to get a 9-to-5. Talk to friend. Oh my God, I'm just blanking. Mendoza. What's his first name? Friend. Oh my God, I'm blanking. Oh my God, I'm blanking on his first name. This is so bad as a diehard. Friend. I can't say his name right. It's on the tip of my tongue. This is so bad as a college football fan. Because I'm a diehard college football fan. I don't know how the fuck to say his first name. But talk to Mendoza and update that LinkedIn, buddy, because you're going to learn a 9-to-5. Because, you went to school for an extra 2 years. You should know a thing or two since you're supposed to graduate 2 years ago. Get a few extra school skills. Get your brain working, buddy, because you're going to need to learn how to do a job. Now let's get on to Chester's got a question. ChatGPT podcast question. If money didn't matter, what would you be doing? What do you think? Everybody's going to be doing this. Everybody's going to be living a life to the best ability because everything's free. You don't have to work a job because you don't have to get paid money. School doesn't matter. But here's the thing. The world revolves around money, and you have to get a job. And you need politicians, leaders, first responders, doctors. So if somebody gets injured, something bad goes wrong, then you have those people to help you. But for those people to work, you have to pay them money. So money is the middle of everything, center of life. You see it in sports. You see it in the real world. Yeah. So sadly, money's here and you just got to live with it. Let's talk about the big thing, the grand finale. Not this weekend, but next weekend, the Super Bowl, the biggest, most watched sporting event in the world besides soccer, the Super Bowl. It's the same damn teams every year. I'm going to talk about this after the Super Bowl when I talk about the NFL being scripted. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be my best fucking podcast. I am like a detective. All right? I'm like the go-go gadget, buddy. I am fucking Sherlock Holmes. Roger Goodell, you're not smart, buddy. You don't think anybody's going to know that this shit isn't scripted? This bitch is scripted. NFL is scripted. Anyways, we saw this matchup 11 years ago when Russell Wilson threw the pick to Malcolm Butler on the goal line at the 1 yard line when they had Marshawn Lynch to the backfield. Everybody knows about that. That's common ball knowledge. Even as a non-football fan, you got to know that. Anyways, that's going to be in my video because that is definitely a scripted thing. Anyways, this is going to be a defensive game. Two of the best defenses in the nation. And why am I saying the nation? In the National Football League. Hot take, but I think this is going to happen. The last point scored. A defense will get a turnover, either a pick six or a scoop and score. That'll be the deciding factor. That defensive turnover will be the last point scored, and that's who's going to win. So whoever gets that turnover is going to win. Anyways, I want the Seahawks to win. I have them winning in my fantasy, bracket prediction, but the Patriots are the NFL's golden boy, and the NFL wants one franchise, not a franchise being tied. They don't want the Steelers and the Patriots to be tied for the most Super Bowl wins. They want one team, the grand team, and they're going to give it to the New England Patriots. I have a feeling that the Patriots are going to win, and Patriots are the NFL's golden boy, so of course they're going to let them win. Drake May, Mike Vrabel, Stephon Diggs, all getting their first Super Bowl. But this is crazy because Drake May in his second year is already having more Super Bowl appearances than Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. Sam Darnold is the first quarterback in that 2018 draft class when there was Lamar, Josh Allen, to make a Super Bowl. So shout out to Sam Darnold. That just shows, that's like the Hoosier way. That just shows when you get doubted, you just got to find the right fit. Maybe he's a game manager, but it doesn't matter. He was a dog at USC. He showed some flashes in New York. I know it wasn't good. He had a lot of turnovers, but he showed some flashes. They gave up on him. Carolina never gave him a shot. When he showed out in Minnesota, they let him walk because they thought 9 was better. If I'm Justin Jefferson, I've heard this, a lot of people saying, sports analysts, I'd be pissed because they let go of Sam Darnold. But 9, enjoy having 9, Justin Jefferson, because 9 and 18, they're going to become best friends because Jay Jettis is going to be there for a little while. And 9 is still on his rookie contract, and he has 4 more years of those. Anyways, everything just lines up. This is going to be a hard-fought, shippy game. It's going to be a boring game, but I think it'll be a defensive game. If one offense explodes, I think it'll be the Seahawks, but I think the NFL wants to keep it close. Because here's the thing about the NFL. It's the same damn teams every single year. From 2019 to 2025, it's been the Chiefs versus either the 49ers or the Eagles for those 6 Super Bowls. Nobody wants to watch the same games over and over, but guess what? They are, because the Chiefs game against the 49ers came down and killed a game-winning field goal. Chiefs versus Eagles the first time was in overtime. The only non-close Chiefs game was when they were going for the three-peat, and everybody watched that because everybody was hate-watching to make sure that the Chiefs didn't go for a three-peat. So everybody was like, oh, let me watch this to make sure the Chiefs don't go for a three-peat. I won't be watching the game. Here's the thing, the NFL is going to hook me. It's going to be a close game, and then I'm going to watch the end of it. Or maybe I just go to sleep. I don't know. But NFL always wraps me in for some fucking reason. I know it's scripted. I'm going to prove it why. I keep on saying that I'm going to prove it. So you just got to stay tuned for that podcast. But it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a close defensive game. I said 17-13. I think the Pats are going to win. I want the Seahawks to win, but I think the NFL is going to script it like that. But here's the thing. NFL knows what they're doing. But this is going to be a boring Super Bowl. Not a lot of offense. Even the halftime show's shit. Bad Bunny speaking Espanol out there. Nobody's going to know what he's saying. He's wearing a dress as a male. I'm not going to get into that, but I think it's fucking disgusting. But here's the thing. Everybody's complaining, but here's the thing. NFL wants to go international. That's why they're having those games out of the country, and like Brazil, Real Madrid, London, Germany. What? They're going to go to China soon or some shit. Because they want to go international. So they need to have, I think Spanish is the most speaking language in the world. Maybe Latin is. So they gotta get it out to more people. Here's the thing. You diehard NFL fans who are going to watch the first half, you're going to watch the second half. You don't care. They don't care if you don't watch the fucking Super Bowl halftime show. It's just a little blah, blah, blah to get more people that don't like watching the Super Bowl to watch the halftime show and then stick around for the second half. And they're like, oh, this NFL thing's cool. That's why the second halves are always close. Oh, let me watch it next year. That's how it does it every single year. A year after year, it's a close game at halftime 9 times out of 10. Just like, except for like, the Falcons-Patriots game, which that ended up being a good game, but it was 20-3 at halftime. And then Eagles-Chiefs last year, those were like the two only not close games at halftime since the 2010s. So they're going to watch this halftime show, see that's cool, then they're going to stick around saying, oh, this is a close game, let me watch the end of it, and then they're going to get more people to watch it. It's the same cycle over and over, and you guys keep on falling for it. They don't care if you diehard NFL fans watch the Super Bowl halftime show, because you're going to be back on your couch and your fat ass Week 1 watching the NFL. So they don't care if you don't watch this stupid little halftime show because you're going to be watching the NFL next year. Anyways, that's all I got to say. Patriots, I think, are going to win 17-13. I think my next podcast is going to be after the Super Bowl, which is in 2 weeks, talking about the NFL being scripted. If not, stay tuned. That'll be either episode 3 or 4. Wait, no, 4 or 5. This is episode 3. Make sure to like and subscribe. See you guys next time.